Hi, I'm Tereza with Potomac Beads. Today we will work together on my Labyrinth Temple Bracelet, which features Puca beads and Potomac Exclusives. If you need any materials, you can go below the video into the description box where you'll find the links if you need to purchase anything. Gather the beads and we will start working. We will start first making the segments. We will start from the back, working our way to the outside, and when we are done with the whole square, I go to the middle and add the crystal. You can also leave out the crystal and you can just keep the inside empty, so you don't need so many rivolis. You can also try and put there, instead of my 12mm rivoli which I chose, you can try, and I think even with the same amount of seed beads you can fit in 10mm. If you feel like the basket, like the netting is too big, just lose one of the 15s here, so we have 3, you can dial it to 2 and it might help. And you probably have to do some testing, but I think it will work fine. So I work with 0.006 wildfire. I chose the black one so you can see it, and I'm also working with darker colors. And we will start from the back. So you will need 15 O's. I'm using Miyuki black bronze. So first I put 4 15 O's. Then you will need Amos Par Puca beads. Don't forget to check the holes and go through the hole which is closer to the tip. I'm using the dark gold bronze color. And I will put on 3 more repetitions like this. So 4 seed beads, Amos, 4 seed beads, Amos. Don't forget to check the holes every time. 4 seed beads and Amos. So now I have 4 Amos beads. Leave a 10cm tail so you can later hide it somewhere between the beads. And knot the beads into circle. I'm doing at least 2, rather 3 knots. I also cut comfortable length to work with for me, so it's almost like an arm span long, but it will be enough for both the segment and connecting the other one. So now when you have a circle, go through the same hole of the Amos, so you get away from the knot, and then step up to the second hole. Now we will start working with storm duos. So the storm duos will always hug in a way the Amos. They have like 2 ways you can put them on besides the holes. So I am picking up the first one from the inside, so it leans and copies the shape of the Amos, like this. Then I put on 1 8-0, which is the same color like the 15-0, so black bronze. And then I am picking up the second storm duo, but from the other side, like from the back, like this. So it will lean onto the second Amos. And they will fill the gap between the 2 Amos. And like this I will go around. So let me put on the first storm duo again, checking the hole, 8-0, and second storm duo which I picked in the opposite direction. and then I will do this 2 more times. So this is my last storm duo. I'm going through the Amos, and now I want to step up, so my thread is coming out from the top hole of the Amos, and I'm going through the storm duo, just through the lower hole, and then I'm going up to the second hole of the storm duo. Now over each Amos I will put an arco with seed beads around the arco bead. So I need arcos beads. I'm using pastel bordeaux color. I'm going through the first hole, and then I'm picking up 8 15-ohs, 8 in total, and I'm going through the hole on the other side and also the storm duo here through the upper hole. Now pull tight, make sure there are no gaps anywhere between the beads, can help the 15-ohs to adjust. And then we need to put beads also between the storm duos, and that will be 2 15-ohs, round duo mini bead, and 2 more 15-ohs, and going through the next storm duo, round duo mini in jet bronze. So like this. So now I will go with my arcos over the Amos, and here between the storm duos I will again put the round duo mini and the 15-ohs. I'll go around, and then we will step up again and add more beads around. So this was my last round duo mini. Now you should see the Amos point up a bit, and this is where we will add the crystal later. If you don't like the crystal and you would like to keep it empty, that's also a possibility. Otherwise you will have to get a crystal for every component, but you can leave it empty too. Now we need to add the 15-ohs around. So the last bead I went through was the storm duo to finish up the circle. Now I want to go through the first hole of the arco and the 15-ohs around the arco too. So through all of the 15-ohs. And then pick up 6 15-ohs and go through the upper hole of the round duo mini. Then pick again 6 15-ohs and go through the 15-ohs around the next arco. Not to the arcos beads by itself, arcos bead, but only through the 15-ohs. And like this. Go around the whole segment. You might feel it starts getting wavy a bit, but just wait and go around the whole thing. And if you feel like it's still wavy, loosen up a bit the tightness of the thread which you went around with. So just push it down a bit to make it a bit loose. Or you can experiment and change the number of the seed beads from 6 to 7. But I tried, and for me it worked mostly with the 6. So let me quickly go around. And after I am around, you can either stop or we will go to the center and add the crystal with simple netting. So one more seed bead row, 6, and go again through the 15 O's around the first arcos, and go only through the 8 15 O's and don't go through the 6, because now you want to go down through the arcos, then also through the storm duo, the upper hole. Now you want to step down to the storm duo, which will change the direction. And then through the upper hole of the arcos. If you see that some of the arcos are not, some of the Amos are not super pointing up, try to tighten up the knot inside so they are really close to each other and everything is nice and tight. Now we will add the round duo minis to make the little basket for the crystal. So to start the bezel, pick 3 15 O's, round duo mini and 3 15 O's, and go through the upper hole of the next Amos. Don't forget to check the holes of the round duo minis too. Again, pick 3 15 O's, round duo mini, 3 15 O's, go through the upper hole of the next Amos. Again, I also like the look when you have all these little prongs from the round duo minis just being there, looking like this, like a little 3D shape. It doesn't look bad by itself. So if you don't want to put anything inside, it's also an idea for you. So that's the last. And now I'm going through the upper hole of the next Amos and up through the first 3 15 O's between the Amos and the round duo mini. I pull, then I'm going through the lower hole of the round duo mini and I'm stepping up and going through the second hole of the round duo mini. And now finally I pick every time 3 15 O's and I'm going through the upper hole of the next round duo mini. And before I completely close it and pull it tight, I insert the crystal and then I pull tight. You might feel that there are gaps between the beads, but we will go once more through this whole top row and it will close up some of those gaps. But if you still feel like the gaps are too much for you, just switch to 4 seed beads instead of 3. So like this to make the basket tighter. And pull tight. And now I need to get to the outside again. to connect these two segments with Potomac crystal baguettes, which we will connect to the 6 beads which are between the seed beads going around the Arcos bead and the round duo mini. So follow the path of the thread. So I'm basically stepping down through the round duo mini. I'm going through the 3 seed beads which were on the side of the round duo mini. And then I will go through the upper hole of the Amos, the first hole of the storm duo. Then I am stepping up through the storm duo again. I am also going through the first hole of the Arcos bead. It might get a bit tricky if the beads will be sitting in the way. Yes. And now you can go through the 6 beads. So here I'm coming out from the Arcos bead and I'm going through the 6 15-ohs, and this will be the starting point for our connection. So to connect the parts, you will need the Potomac crystal baguettes, the 15 by 10 millimeter, and for each connection I am using 2 of them. So now pick one 15-oh, go through the one of the holes, but it will be the upper one, so you want your baguette to be sitting like this, and here is the second hole. Then pick another 15-oh, then take the second segment and you want to connect it to the 6 seed beads on the other side. So I'm going from the opposite way, from the top down now, like this, and we will make like a small circle. So I'm picking one 15-oh, going through the baguette again, 15-oh, and then going back up again only through the 6 seed beads between the Arcos and the round duo mini. Now pull so you don't have any gaps between the beads, and I would really recommend to go again through everything. So through the 15-ohs on each side of the baguette, I'm trying to do it everything at one time, but it's not very smart. Yes, I'm on the other side. Through the second 15-oh there I added, and also through the 6 15-ohs on the other side. And again through the other 2 15-ohs and the baguette and the 15-oh on the other side. And then you need to jump up, to move up basically, to add the second baguette. So also go one more time through the 15-ohs, the 6 15-ohs between the Arcos and the round duo mini. So you finish up the circle. Then you go through the round duo mini and also the 6 seed beads on the other side. Like that. Then I pick one 15-oh baguette, again in the correct direction, so this time it's actually the same. I'm again picking up through its upper hole. Then 1/15, and on the other segment go through the 6/15 between the arcos and the round mini. Now pick another 15, go through the baguette, a 15, and go again through the 6/15 on the other side. Now, like we did before, I will go through the 15 I added, the baguette. Just be sure that you really are going through the baguette, you are not skipping it from the back. Through the 6/15 on the other side, 15 also here, the baguette, and the 15. And now you need to knot off somewhere the thread. I would also recommend going one more time through the 6 beads here to like finish the circle. And now you are good to knot off the thread somewhere and start creating another segment which you will again connect. I am left with quite a long piece of thread, so you can start with a smaller one, or you can take very long one and make several segments with it. It's totally up to you, but try to work with something comfortable. Also hide the back, and when you are comfortable with the length of the segments you made, then we will add the clasp. You can also make a bracelet, you can make a pendant, you can make earrings. It's definitely up to you. You can make just 1 or 2 segments and use them as you need. So I will finish my bracelet and then we will add finally the clasp. So for my bracelet, I figured out I need only 4 of these segments because I want to add baguettes on each end, and my clasp will be 2 cap buttons, so it will actually make up for the whole segment by itself. So it will be fine if you have a smaller wrist like I do with 4 segments, and if you have a thicker wrist you can go with 5. So I'm working with thread which was a leftover from these segments, so I went again for the 6 seed beads between the arcos and the round mini, and I already added the first cap button. So you will start from the 6 beads here, doesn't matter from which way. So go through them, then pick 1/15, then add 1 baguette, and then add 3 15-ohs, then add 1 8-oh, 3 more 15-ohs, slide, pick cap button, go through its first hole, pick 3 15-ohs, sorry, only 3, go through the second hole, then pick 3 15-ohs again, go through the 8-oh. I'm going in the vertical direction, pull tight, pick 3 15-ohs, and go through the second hole of the baguette, then pick 1 15-oh and go again through the 6 seed beads. And now I would recommend going through the whole thing one more time. So through the 15-0, through the baguette, and then up through all the beads, through the 3 15-0s, 8-0, 15-0 and cup button. Then it's very tricky to go through the beads here because of the shape and like the cup shape, so you just go not through the beads but directly to the second hole, and the thread will hide underneath the 3 seed beads which are already there. Then you can go again through the 15-0s on the other side, the 3 15-0s behind the 8-0, but the other ones then you went through on the other side, the baguette, and the last 15-0 added previously. And also to finish the circle, if the beads let you, go through the 6 seed beads again. And this is the clasp on one side. On the other side we will make loops, add the baguettes, and then the bracelet is done. So you can knot off somewhere here. You can find a thread between the beads, make a knot, go through the beads, and cut the thread. So on the other side I don't have a thread edit because I ran out, but I will edit and start the final loops, and then the bracelet will be done. The last thing that is that needs to be done is making the loop on the other side of my bracelet. So I tested it here on this side, and I added a new piece of thread. You can probably also have a piece of thread sticking out from this segment which you used previously. That is completely fine. I started from here and now I'm about to move down here. So what basically you will go from the top, and we will do it like here on this other side where I added the baguettes and the cup button, so it's completely the same way. So you go through the beads around the arco, the seed beads, the 6 seed beads between the arcos and the round duo mini, and you will make the first loop, and then you will go down through the round duo mini, the top hole, and then also again through the 6 seed beads. Now I will show you the actual loop. So it's the same for the top as well, so no changes there. So pick one 15-0, then pick up the crystal baguette. Oops. Don't forget to align it correctly, so you will probably pick up first the lower hole, then you pick 3 15-0s like this, then pick up 1 8-0 and then pick up a 32 15-0s. Then you will go through the 8-0, adding 3 more 15-0s down through the baguette, adding 1 more 15-0 and going down, and once again. So I will quickly put it on and then I will follow up and we will finish it. So I have 32 15-0s now on my thread. I'm going back through the 8-0. Oops. Spilling beads. Then I'm adding 3 15-0s, going to the second hole of the baguette, and picking up one more 15-0, I am going from the round duo mini down towards the arcos at the bottom, just through the 6 seed beads again, and pulling. Now you can actually test if the loop is fine. It's a bit more loose, the bottom one. This upper one, which I made previously, it's a bit more tight because I went already twice through it, and I'm spilling beads, I'm sorry. So we need to go through this loop one more time. So let me quickly open it up for you. And I'm just going without any beads through the 15-0 here, then to the baguette, and also through the 8-0, the loop. You can go almost, I think, even 3 times if you think, or if you don't use wildfire and you use some kind of other thread, like a fabric, more fabric based one, go definitely at least 3 times with that kind of thread. And concerning the length of the bracelet, before I go through all the beads, so it might be tricky to get the measurements right with the segments. So this whole bracelet with these loops, with the cap buttons, the additional baguettes on each side, the whole bracelet has 17 centimeters. It in reality it's a bit less because you actually put the loops on the cap buttons when you close the bracelet. So in reality it will be more like 16.5 centimeters. So definitely have that in mind when working and measuring the length. So 17 centimeters, I googled it, it should be 6.7 inches. Each component has 3 centimeters from here to like the half of the baguette here, so like 3.5, 3.3 almost centimeters, which is inch 0.2. So for me, I have quite a tiny wrist with I think 16 around, and this is perfect for me. When I close it up, it's even like a perfectly matching actually. So most of you, I think, will go for at least 5 segments, and they are quite large. And if you have issues with the length and adjusting the length, you can definitely drop out these baguettes on each side, and then you will shorten the length if you need something in between. If you need longer, you can always adjust like the number of seed beads here and make it maybe longer, or put even like maybe 2 baguettes here and 2 baguettes here. So there are definitely ways how to change the length and adjust it to yourself. So I went twice, and now I just need to go somewhere and knot off the thread. So let me quickly go around the arcos bead, and there I will find a spot between the beads, knotting it off. Like this. And then going away through the beads. It's always important, don't ever cut your thread close to the knot. Using my thread burner, I'm cutting the thread, and my bracelet is finished. So to give you the information on what colors I used, I used, or the general material, I used for the base the Amos Par Puca, the dark gold bronze color. For each segment you need 4 of those. Then I used Amos Par Puca in pastel bordeaux color, again 4 beads for each segment. Then I used Potomac's Storm Duo White Lila Vega Luster, and then you need 8 beads for each segment. And then also our Round Duo Mini in Jet Bronze color. There you need also 8 beads for each segment. Then for the center of the segment I used Amethyst Rivoli in 12 millimeter size. But I didn't test it, but I think you can go with 10 millimeter as well. You just need to slightly adjust the number of the 50 nose here at the top, maybe the second lower layer from the top, and you could be fine. And I think it will be also convenient for you because we sell the 10 millimeter rivolis in packs of 5, so you could go even on 5 segments with only 1 pack. Then you need the Potomac Crystal baguettes. It's also the amethyst color. I needed 10 baguettes. I was left with 2 extra. If you make 5 segments, then you will need all of them. And then I used Miyuki 50 nose and 8 dose in the bronze color and 2 cap buttons in pastel bordeaux. I worked with 0.006 wildfire in the black color and size 12 needle. So this is it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you will enjoy making my bracelet and enjoy watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, let us know in the description or you can message us. If you finish this bracelet, you can definitely post a picture in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. We would love to see your pictures and feedback. Thank you very much and see you during some other tutorial with Potomac Beads. Happy beading!